Visual. Slow zoom through a dark void. A faint rhythmic thump echoes, like a heartbeat. Red particles float in the darkness. Narrator deep, calm voice. Inside every human chest, there is a silent engine. An engine that never sleeps, never pauses, never asks for a break. Your heart. For most people, this engine beats over 100,000 times every single day, pushing life through the body like a perfect biological machine. But sometimes, even the strongest machines face failure. And when the aortic valve, the heart's main pressure gate, begins to weaken, narrow, or leak, the entire system trembles. Visual. A glowing 3D heart begins rotating slowly, arteries illuminated like blue neon wires. This is where our journey begins. Today, you will enter a world only surgeons see. A world where a single mistake can stop time itself. Where precision is the only language, and the human heart becomes an open book. Visual. Camera dives into the aorta. Bright white light floods the view like entering a tunnel. In this moment, the patient is already asleep. Machines breathe for them, monitors replace their senses, and a surgical team stands ready, each movement rehearsed like a sacred ritual. The chest is opened carefully, layer by layer, until the beating heart appears, still working, still fighting, still alive. But soon, its rhythm will be stopped. Not because of danger, but because stopping it is the only way to save it. Visual. The heartbeat slows, then fades into a suspended, motionless state. This is the moment where science pushes the limits of life. A heart-lung machine takes over, circulating blood, maintaining oxygen, keeping the body alive. While the heart rests, silent but safe. Now, the aortic valve is exposed. The surgeon sees the damage, thickened leaflets, calcified edges, movements restricted like rusted hinges of a door. A valve meant to last a lifetime, finally worn out. What happens next is a masterpiece of human skill. The removal of a failing valve and the precise installation of a new one. A replacement that will beat with the heart, move with the heart, and give life a new beginning. Visual. Light pulses across the screen. Heartbeat returns softly. Our story starts here, at the edge of life, inside the silence where the human heart waits to be rebuilt. Visual. The silent heart rests under bright surgical lights. The aorta is gently opened, revealing the damaged valve deep inside. Narrator steady, immersive tone. When the aorta is opened, time seems to stop completely. Inside this narrow gateway lies one of the most important structures in the human body, the aortic valve. 3 delicate leaflets, shaped like curved wings, designed to open and close in perfect rhythm with every heartbeat. For years, they protected the body, allowing blood to surge out with life-giving force. But now, these leaflets are stiff, calcified, and failing. Visual. Close-up 3D animation of the valve, thick, rough, and barely moving. The surgeon studies the damage. Every millimeter matters. One wrong cut could tear the fragile tissue around it. But hesitation is not an option. With microscopic precision, the old valve is removed. Piece by piece, like removing a shattered component from an ancient machine. Calcium deposits are scraped away, the annulus is cleaned, and the heart is prepared for a new beginning. Visual. Surgeon's tools move delicately, removing fragments of the old valve. Now comes the moment that defines the entire operation. The introduction of the replacement valve. It rests in a small metal frame, perfectly crafted, tested, and engineered to behave exactly like a natural human valve. This small device will become the gatekeeper of life for decades. The surgeon places it into the heart, aligning it with millimeter accuracy. Tiny sutures, barely visible to the eye, are stitched one by one, securing the new valve in place. Each stitch represents stability, each knot represents hope. Visual. The new valve settles into position, shining softly like a new piece of machinery. When all stitches are tied, the new valve stands ready. Still, perfect, waiting for the heart to awaken again. The aorta is closed carefully, sealed layer by layer. And then, the heart-lung machine slowly returns power to the silent heart. Visual. A faint electrical impulse travels across the heart surface. At first, there is only silence. Then a twitch, a small vibration of life. And suddenly, thump, the heart beats again. Blood rushes through the new valve for the first time, opening and closing smoothly, effortlessly. A flawless rhythm restored. The operation is not over yet, but the heart has already begun its second life. Softly as blood flows through the newly implanted valve. Narrator calm, powerful voice. A few minutes ago, this heart was silent, suspended between life and stillness. protected by machines, guarded by human hands. But now, it beats again. Each thump grows stronger, more confident. As if the heart itself understands that it has been reborn. The new aortic valve opens and closes with perfect precision, letting blood surge forward with renewed strength. Visual. 3D animation showing blood traveling through the new valve, smooth and unobstructed. Deep inside the operating room, the tension begins to melt away. The hardest part is over. But the final steps require just as much focus. The surgical team now begins the delicate process of removing the patient from the heart-lung machine. Slowly, gently, the machine reduces its flow, and the heart takes over more of the workload. The monitors adjust, alarms quiet down, and the natural rhythm of life returns to control. Visual. The bypass machine's tubes dim slightly as the heart regains full function. But every surgeon knows, a new valve is only as good as its performance. So now, they watch. Carefully, patiently. Is the valve opening smoothly? Is there any backflow? Is the pressure stable? Every number on the monitor tells a story. And today, the story speaks of success. The surgeon examines the heart one final time. No leaks, no abnormalities, only strong, clean blood flow. Visual. Slow zoom on the beating heart, shining under the surgical lights. With confidence, they begin to close the incision. Sutures reconnect what was opened. Layers of tissue carefully restored. The chest is closed, the final barrier sealed, and the human body becomes whole once again. But the real miracle is not the stitches, not the machines, not even the new valve. It is this: a person came into this room with a failing heart, and now leaves with a second chance at life. Visual. Fade from the heart to an overhead view of the operating room. In the quiet hum of the OR, surrounded by skill, science, and hope, a life has been rewritten. And for the first time in a long time, the heart beats freely. Visual. Fading transition from the bright operating room to a calm, softly lit recovery ward. The heartbeat monitor emits a slow, steady rhythm. Narrator warm, emotional tone. The surgery is complete, the heart is repaired, but the journey is far from over. As the patient lies in the recovery room, their body begins to adjust to a new rhythm. A rhythm powered by a valve that wasn't there just hours ago. Machines softly beep around them, measuring every breath, every pulse, every sign of returning strength. Visual. Close-up of the monitor, healthy waves rising and falling like calm ocean tides. Outside the operating theater, life begins to reconnect. The surgical team removes their gloves, their masks. Faces marked not by exhaustion, but by quiet satisfaction. They know what just happened is more than a medical procedure. It is the restoration of a future. The new valve will open millions of times in the coming years. It will push blood into the body during moments of joy, during moments of fear, during every sunrise and every night's rest. It will support this patient through memories not yet lived. Visual. Soft montage, a family waiting in a corridor, a window showing daylight breaking, the slow rise of hope. As hours pass, the patient begins to wake. Their chest feels heavy, their breath steady but unfamiliar. Yet inside, their heart beats stronger than it has in years. They may not know the full story of what happened while they slept. But their body knows, their heart knows. It feels the strength of the new valve. It feels the renewed power in each beat. It feels alive. Visual. 3D animation of the valve opening and closing, glowing with a soft golden hue. Soon, the patient will sit up for the first time. Soon, they will take their first careful steps. Soon, they will look out of a window and realize life has given them another chance. And that is the true miracle. Not just the skill of surgeons, not just the precision of technology, but the simple, powerful truth that the human body can be rebuilt, and with it, a human life can begin again. Visual. Slow fade out to a beating heart silhouette. Narrator softly. In every heartbeat, there is hope.